I'm inert. I don't move at all.
There's a sound of winter snow crickets. Now, crackling of a fire. You are now 4 days from Shepherd's End, with presumably 3 more to go before you would reach. No, 6 more to go before you would reach town of Merewood. The train tracks have veered from their north-south direction into the west. Now, for many of you, likely the farthest you've ever been from Shepherd's End itself. There have been a small handful of sightings of undead creatures on the road at the edge of the forest. Pretty easy to dispatch, just meandering. But the last 2 were in the last day. So it seems as though perhaps as you get closer to Merewood itself, there may be more of these creatures. You're now at the end of a long day of travel, quite tired, and the sun is finally set. You've set up your camp. If you would, walk us through the nighttime preparations for each of your characters as you get ready to bed down for the evening. How you might set up any watches or set up your preparations, things like that.
Esmond would go through the standard motions of setting up a little area for himself to do note-taking, research, work. He's been slowly crafting the remaining arcane bullets for Vithedrian, spaced out. So that's coming to an end, and he's also been taking notes that he hasn't really shared with anyone else. And when it gets closer to actual sleep time, that's when he will go through the ritual process of casting alarm around a certain segment of the camp. But yeah, that's pretty much how he spends his nights.
Nice. What's it look like as you cast the spell alarm, and where do you want to set it up?
Well, let me ping it first because I've never cast it before and I need some clarification. So it's a range of 30 feet, but it can only be a 20-foot cube. Is that right?
Yes, that looks correct.
We wouldn't be able to fit everybody in the 20-foot cube.
I mean, you could if you wanted to. It would just be comfortable, probably.
I think lying down, you could probably only fit like what?
They could be
You might be able to
16,
fit
right?
8 people comfortably.
I suddenly decided that I brought bunk beds. No, just kidding.
Well, if you figure everyone takes like a 5 foot by 10 foot area lying down, it's like 8 people, 8 slots within 20-foot
Well,
cube.
okay. So all right. So it can fit several people, and assuming that some people stay up for watches and then switch out throughout the evening, there should be enough space in the area to fit everybody at a time. If you consider switching out for watches and stuff, does that make sense? Because otherwise, yeah, he would set the alarm probably somewhere in the middle of the campsite, and the actual process of it. Okay, artificer ritual. Taking a thin copper wire and threading it through pins that he hammers into the ground. And once those are all in place and the wire is tied, it's sliding tiny bells that when you shake that they make no noise, but Esmond guarantees that if somebody that isn't supposed to crosses that line, they will make noise.
Well, we could maybe camp with our back to a wall and place the alarm on our most vulnerable side, if there's any.
Oh, sure. I mean, depending on where we set up camp, that would be the ideal situation. But if we're out in the open, like how it's currently portrayed on the screen, at least, then just everyone gets real cozy, I guess.
Everybody pick their cuddle buddy.
It's a cuddle pile. It's just like, meh.
I thought everyone was already glomming around Casey for warmth
Yes.
anyway.
Oh, and Sal. Sal promised he was cozy.
Greatest surface area.
You see Bethedrian finishes sort of reconstructing his clockwork rifle after oiling it a bit. And then with a weary look on his face, he kind of nods to you, heads into one of the tents, and seems to lay down.
I think Sal's routine involves checking supplies. So you'd see him wandering around with a notebook, double checking rations, what we have, what we've used, how that pace is going, occasionally shooting a slightly suspicious glance towards Kabeth.
Ava sort of walks around the perimeter of the camp. Her hands seem perpetually cold. She's always trying to find some place that keeps them warm. But she tries to keep her hands busy, I guess. She checks on people just to make sure that everyone seems like they're bundled up and things aren't exposed. Everyone's just fine physically. And checks in on the old camels? What are they? What do we have again? Llamas. Thank you.
Yeah,
The old llamas.
I didn't have the. I thought I had a cart in my little resources here, but you'll just have to imagine it's there by the camp or something.
Yeah, so she goes and checks on those things, checks their hooves, and that they're all like bundled down before going back. And she's not particularly helpful at this juncture, so she just kind of cuddles up next to like probably Shalati or something, and just tries to stay warm.
I think of an evening once they decide to make camp. She's generally busy with tending to the animals, making sure they have food and water. If nobody's, I mean, I imagine Peach might be dealing with the food for everybody. So instead, she deals with the animals, any kinds of setup of blankets, and then we'll do some training in the evening with the Thidrin if he's in a mood, or with anyone else who is willing.
Casey would most likely be tending to the fire, brings in a bundle of sticks, drops them next to the fire, and kind of waves his hand slightly, and the snow shifts and slowly congeals into a snowball and floats over the fire. Then he moves another hand and says a word under his breath, and the fire gains intensity without him putting a stick on it or anything like that, and the ball of snow melts and slowly forms bubbles and then boils over the top, and then he waves another hand and it floats down and lands in a little bucket next to the fire. And that's probably how he spends this evening.
So I think Peach is also nearest to the fire because Shalati was accurate in saying that she would be primarily working on making sure that not necessarily that there are enough rations to go around, but that whatever meal is being served is half decent tasting. So coming around for like an evening meal, Peach would distribute to each of you what looks like kind of a hard biscuit, and then also like a little cup of warm liquid, and she'd go around and say, "Now, effectively, this is crouton soup, but if you dip this in, or if you dribble some of the soup onto it, it's gonna like blossom like a souffle. It'll be very, very good and very filling. So just when the hot water comes onto it, it's going to open up. So eat it if you want. If you want it to be a hardtack, hardtack. But if you add water to this, it's going to plump back up into a proper biscuit." And she'll come around and kind of give everybody a biscuit and some soup. She
Beth.
continues to pull small bowls and bits and bobs from her bag of holding. As it turns out, various people have forgotten cutlery or different cooking materials.
Beth has received her portion in the bowl that she did in fact remember to bring. She probably helped you prepare that a bit, and once everybody kind of seems settled into their tasks, she has set up her own little bedroll that Araya had prepared, and she bowl in hand, she pours the hot water on. She puts the bowl by her side. Hi, son. And she snuggles into her bedroll, and you see her pull out a candle, and she lights the candle with a match, and she puts her bowl and her spoon on one side, and then you see her reach into the bedroll into one of her pockets, which are still attached to her because she's always ready to like run and leave. um, and she pulls out some like jerky meat, and you see that her put that aside next to the bowl, and then she reaches into the other side and rummages around and pulls out something else, and it's a book, and it is in fact the book of like plants you can survive on in the wilderness, and she balances the bowl on her stomach with her spoon, and the book in the other hand, and sets the candle nearby, and she eats her evening meal and reads. She puts her glasses on too.
After a long prayer that perhaps goes on a bit longer than usual, over her wonderful food, she turns to Peach and is like, "Is it strange that the food tastes better on the road than it ever did at the temple?"
No,
And
honey, that's no. It's that sense of adventure. Yeah,
oh, spice of life.
yeah, definitely not any prestidigitation.
And eating magic. Continues her purse, but is tucked up under the layers and layers of robes, more excessive than Sal would ever be comfortable with, as she's huddled nearest to the fire and eating soup, and volunteers for the first watch to watch over everyone.
What does everyone think?
Sal?
Oh, we have enough to say.
I mean, I could add to the inventorying that I was doing. So after finishing the double check inventory after the evening meal, Sal has to do his normal skincare routine, but especially important when you're traveling on the road in extreme cold. So, wrapped mask, double wrap with an extra layer of scarf. Really, all you can see is his eyes and eyebrows as he huddles next to the fire, meticulously cleaning under his fingernails because they've been picking up dirt as we've been traveling for now 4 days. He tries to speak with the other party members, but mostly you just hear
And that's adult.
little bit.
The quiet hours of the early evening kind of drift by. And for those who are looking to get some rest, yeah, you're more than likely to be able to fall asleep after a long, exhausting day. Araya had mentioned doing a watch. Is she up doing watch alone, or somebody doing that with her?
I'm really, really awake, I promise all. And with Ez's alarm, I think you all should get a lot more rest.
Actually, Latte will probably stay up for the first watch of an evening, generally.
But
Peach will take a shift, but not the first shift.
If Patrick is cool with it, I would like to request that Ez and Ava have a watch together because I also want to do a scene.
Okay. Yeah.
do you need a full 8 in the middle of the night? So would you take the last?
No. You can stand watch. Like, I think you can get a full rest if you do limited activity. Right, guys?
Yeah. But as long as you're not doing anything strenuous at all, just kind of staying awake and keeping watch, that can be part of your rest.
Okay. Esmond would find Ava curled up around the feet of Shalati, who's apparently staying watch, and she's just like, like a kitten, I guess, curled up there, just trying to stay warm. Yeah.
Okay. Gently try and nudge her awake. Doc.
All right. And she wakes. Is it what? Is it our shift?
Yeah. Let's walk out a little bit.
She kind of stands up, a little cramped, and blows on her hands again, freezing. And follows Esmond to the where they're gonna stay and walk.
I like to think in all of this, she just literally just fell asleep right where she was sitting.
I was going to say you passed by Kabeth, who has the candle has burned itself out, but the book is on her face, and the bowl is also still on her stomach.
Esmond will gently take the book and find a bookmark and close it so that she can, not drool on the pages directly.
Thank you.
Alternate universe, Ava goes, "You don't need that," and just bends the page just there.
No.
I'm kidding.
See, Esmond is a lawful good reader.
No, I'm just
Traitor of the group. Traitor.
No, just kidding.
So Esmond will kind of lead the way, I guess, and not walk out too far, maybe 10, 20-ish feet, and just try and find a site with nice clearing into the woods and just kind of get situated, leaning against a tree, and just say, well, I guess we'll just watch this way for a little bit, and then just kind of circle back around until our shift's done.
Mm-hmm. She kind of rubs the sleep from her eyes a little bit, still trying to wake up. Blows in her hand. Her mask is off because they're out in the open, and there seems to be very little to hurt her senses.
Hey, by the way, I wanted your opinion on something real fast, and Esmond will reach into his satchel and go shoulder deep into it and pull out a couple scraps of paper folded up, and we'll pass them over to you to look over. And when you open it, it's a lot of scribbled notes, not a lot of consistency in terms of like what you're looking at. Just random formulas, ideas jotted down. You look over that, and Esmond will just clarify. So, I had a thought the other day when we first came across that zombie, and shortly after that, actually. We don't know anything about the necromancer or about where it could be, but what if what if we could learn something about it? What if we could learn something from these undead creatures?
Like how? I'm looking at the notes. You're gonna have to walk me through it, though. I don't.
Yeah. So I don't. I haven't been able to like formulate or extrapolate like a hard like idea on how it would work necessarily. But I'm thinking like, what if we can't talk to them, obviously, and um, even if we could or it wasn't illegal, I would assume that based on the decomposition of it, uh, far past being able to be revived in any sort of manner. So, what if we could sort its memories, so to speak, or
Like you're thinking. It looks like you're trying to use divination to kind of. Yeah, it looks like a divination spell.
it's the basis that I've been using because it's what I you know uh, read most about in all the books back home, but I can't get it to click for me. It shouldn't be that difficult. The idea of divination is being able to see beyond what you should be able to naturally see, being able to see into minds or be able to see things from a far like halfway across the world. But there is that element of a dead creature that does not mesh with trying to see its memories, and I can't for the life of me figure out what I'm missing necessarily. We've worked on spells in the past, and I was thinking maybe you would be able to give some advice. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think I can sort of see what you've got here. Um, like she looks around, remembering you're supposed to sort of keep watch, seeing nothing. I assume just goes back and says, "Well, yeah, show me in like practice what you're kind of going through, and I'll keep looking over the notes, and then I'll let me think about it, and I'll try to like translate and feel because I can follow the steps and maybe I can figure something out, but I'll also try to see if I can, I don't know, tweak it and see what I can kind of come up with. And, I can't, I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. But yeah, I'm happy to help work on it. It's like the coolest thing that I think, like, of all the stupid, like, crap that's happened, like, I've been so excited by this. It's like you can do anything with enough magic. It's like it's crazy. So, um, I don't know. I have no idea if this can work, but like I am super excited to help. And yeah, I'd love to.
Who knows? I mean, I feel similarly. Really hoping that we can find another teacher or a library or something in Muirwood. But I guess in the meantime, we just work within the limitations that we have unfortunately been set with.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. So she looks
Quick
around again.
question: are you guys trying to keep this conversation secret from the other people at camp?
Yes,
So like just the two of you? Okay. How far away did you go?
20 to 30 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, she looks around one more time, sort of just trying to make sure and keep an eye out and listen for a second. And it's like, okay, yeah, show me kind of this one seems to have the most potential, like of all the things you're working on. I feel like if you combined these two, maybe, or something like that. Just just show me kind of what you're working with, and I'll keep working on it, and maybe we'll be able to come up with something. This is we have to keep an eye out, but this is definitely a lot more fun than just sitting here for 2 hours.
That's something to do in between us checking the surroundings. But yeah, and then Esmond will go into the kind of what he's been working on in more detail, but also keeping watch on their surroundings until their shift is over.
Yeah, as Esmond begins to kind of pick his way through the segments of the spell that he's been working on, as he's gesturing, let me have you both roll a perception check. Looks like we have a 25 from Doc, and is that a 1 standing from Esmond?
Yeah, I'll let it stand. I'm really into this shit. This is good.
Wait, that's not a 1. That's an 11.
Yeah, but it's a
That's
natural one.
that's a nat 1.
Oh God, yeah. Sorry, I read it backwards. Damn. Fun.
Yeah, as he's going through the gestures, for just a second, there's something about what he's doing that catches your attention, but then it seems like he drops it right in the middle. Goes on to something else.
Okay. She sort of thinks about it, notes it, and then doesn't say anything at the time. Oh no, actually, that makes more sense. She would. She go, oh, actually, that seemed to kind of work. We should keep working on that. There seems to be something I feel like I could almost feel almost there or something. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Okay. You lead the way. See whatever you see. This is why I brought this to you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, you have to watch. And, well, not me. Everything else. And she starts to pick up and try to repeat what she was seeing in the mechanical way that Esmond cast magic.
Yeah, you go through some of the steps and you make a gesture trying to emulate what's there on the paper. And as you do, you catch something in the corner of your eye, a slight pale green light. Not as specific a point as like a lightning bug, but more like if there were, I mean, it's already misty, but if there were a distinct, perhaps like a campfire, that were tinged in green, you see it off in the woods to the west. If you had to guess, just 50 feet of a guess.
50 feet?
If you had to guess.
Oh, she stops what she's doing and puts her hand on Esmond and goes, whoa. She points in the direction. She says something was moving 50 feet that direction. We need to go back, I think.
Right when Ava says that, there's a snap of a twig coming from the north.
Oh, what do we do? Do we wake people up? Should we just see what it is?
What direction is the light?
The light's to the west. You heard a snap from the north.
Oh.
You catch a hint of movement from the south.
Yes, man, what do we do?
Esmond, in his mind, is going to communicate to Zephyrs to fly up above the tree line, keep an eye out for anything, and then Esmond is going to turn to Ava. Let's return to camp real fast.
Okay.
But quite fast.
You guys turn back to camp. You move through past one of the trees. Zephyrs is moving up in the air. And as even you begin to reach the light of the campfire, you can see there's movement. Several creatures are lumbering close to camp. Looks like some of them snuck past you. How can you have noticed it? They're pretty close now.
Are they? You said they're lumbering creatures. Is it clearly zombies?
They are, in fact, the undead like you'd seen before on the road. There's several of them close to the camp.
Choice. If some of them are clustered together, Ice knife, first level at the closest one.
All right.
Oh, there's some music change.
Ava pulls out her shield, not having expected any of this stuff. She keeps looking like around at the things, trying to. She hasn't said anything yet. She hasn't cried out. Wait. Yes. She starts. She goes. Oh, wake up! she shouts.
Extreme bedhead.
Yeah.
So you guys missed that first perception check. I'm going to move some of them closer, and then we'll roll some.
Oh no!
Is it because I kept the natural one?
Yes.
That seems silly.
It cancels out a good one!
Yeah, but that doesn't. No, it means that Esmond didn't see it. Ava still saw plenty.
Ava chose to do the spell and leave you to watch.
That's true.
This is a group effort. Comrade.
It's like
I'm all for this! Whatever! Give
It's
it!
like-
The undead!
It's like group stealth. It takes
Ava, after shouting, I guess just tries to shoot with fires off a couple of guiding bolts.
Let's have,
no.
Let's have everyone roll some initiative.
Oh, initiative.
'Cause you guys are on the
Slide
bad
your
side, I
dude.
suppose.
Do I? Oh, I don't get my thing off to first.
Since you did call that as your initiative, you will get to go first in the initiative, but not as a surprise round.
Is the initiative going in? I don't see the thing for initiative.
I selected mine, but it's not.
What you're doing is working. I just have to pull up the. Where's the tournament? So
No,
the
I
team's
just don't
there,
even
okay.
see my roll.
What about now? Oh, you're not seeing yourself roll at all. Interesting.
Hey, look at that! The zombies aren't even in initiative, man. We got this.
Look at that.
My initiative is much lower than it should
We all
be.
rolled terribly.
Yeah, I roll real bad.
Mine.
I didn't realize we all have like such a low initiative, except for Casey.
No. I should be 11. I don't know why it rolled. Oh, wait, I think I do know, actually. Oh, shoot.
Is 6?
Oh man, I was supposed to have initiative or advantage on that.
I'm going to
Lots of
do a
undead
tactical
townsfolk.
pee. Be back.
What's just unrelated question? What's the population of Muirwood?
In the thousands.
Oh no.
See, I can see Vanya doing this, though. I can see, like, okay, an epidemic rages through the city. Vanya just spares the dying left, right, and center, and then leaves town full of fucking undead.
Undead meat maker.
She thinks she was healing. Poor girl.
I'm gonna grind so much XP.
Undead meat maker!
This is a perfect example of the Walking Dead instances that I always got so upset about, of how zombies could be ninjas and they would just be people in the middle of a field, and suddenly from off screen they'd be like, "Roar!" And I was like, how did it get that close?
They're
It
reading
happens.
books.
No, there's a little.
You were
bit
keeping
more.
watch there, Patrick.
But like dry ass leaves, no, I never got that. When that happened.
I feel like you would smell it. I don't feel like you would, it wouldn't be like, it'd be hard to miss that.
They're refrigerated.
And yet you did. That's so weird.
I got
I've smelled the inside of some fridges. You're not going to trick me with that one.
They're just covered in
Alright.
baking powder.
Okay, so you wake up to the sound of Ava's shouting.
Yeah, Casey bolts upright.
Oh, before you take an action, though, I forgot. I was going to let Esmond go first this round.
I said I was casting Ice Knife, but can I retcon that to be something else? I said I would cast if they were clustered together, but they aren't.
Yeah, that's fine. It sounded like you thought I said they were clustered together.
Okay, so noting that, Esmond will actually whip around, take in the immediate surroundings, and pulling out his wand, he'll strike it against his wrist guard, sparks catching, holding to the end of the wand, and he launches a firebolt at that guy.
Okay. Yeah, I will say, firing through the cover of the brush would be disadvantaged, though.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, in that case, I just would have shot up at the guy directly above me. So that'll be 8 fire damage, or 20 to hit, and then 8 fire damage.
20 definitely hits. The rain cloth ignites into flames.
And then bonus action, yell, and command Typhon to strike down the enemy I just attacked, and Typhon will take off. There will be a big whirring sound in the middle of Typhon's chest as air gets sucked in, and then at the simultaneously a bunch of vents open on its back and legs that push it forward as it begins running very quickly to get in front of that Zombo. And will take an attack. Hold on, find the... Here it is. Force empowered ring. 11 to hit.
11's close. It smashes into the zombie, but looks as though where it hit it just doesn't... It didn't need that part of its body. Some flesh smashes onto the ground. But doesn't seem to care.
I'll burn it. I'll burn my inspiration to reroll that.
Okay. Ooh, 13 does hit.
Okay, for 8 force damage plus bloody, so that'll be 4 bonus damage.
Tell me a story, Typhon.
Those vents open and it just jets off as it approaches. That staff will pop out from the palm and it will expand into a miniature warhammer, where it will move to swing and more vents will open up on the back end of it that will just launch the hammer forward, and it will just knock its head clean off.
Sounds good. When an enemy has been killed, I'll flip them upside down. Alright, Casey.
Yeah, Casey sits dead upright upon hearing Doc yell out.
Are we all clustered in the big tent? Like, what are our sleeping arrangements? So I know placement.
Yeah, as far as people had kind of described falling asleep where they were. Did anyone go into tents? I'd put Cypher and I'd put Thedrian in tents.
I was officially snuggling by the closest and warmest of peoples after my watch. So, like, if Sal was in a tent, sleeping next.
I think Sal went to sleep by the fire, so I just have you two there above the left fire.
Sounds totally fine. I'm gonna stand next to you. You're gonna protect me. I don't have mage armor on her. I can anything.
Peach would have also put her.
Pile of robes and scarves.
Each what? Sorry?
I think she was
Terrible
saying
audio,
just
Sankin.
Is that what you said?
She's snuggling as well.
Same side of camp? With Shalati or over on the left side of camp?
On the left side of camp.
I think Charlotte would have gone to wherever, after her watch ended, she would have just gone to wherever was the biggest concentration of people.
And now that log is at max capacity.
The other alternative was to snuggle up with Edwin.
Nathedrian looked at the pile of teenagers and sighed and retreated to his own tent, like... he was not about that life. We haven't washed in 4 days.
Speak for yourself.
Sal has, magically somehow.
I smell just fine, thank you very much.
I feel like Charlotte would be the kind of person to do a polar plunge in the morning because she's that much of a masochist.
Oh my god. I believe it.
Jump in the drinking water barrel.
Stop.
Sorry, anyway, I just wanted to know where I was starting from, eventually.
Casey.
Yeah, Casey sits dead upright upon hearing Doc yell. And then sees Esmond jumping to action and yelling for his robot to run over, and snaps both hands simultaneously, and balls of flame erupt into either of his hands, and he looks around, kind of assessing the situation. Zombies everywhere. And he jumps up. Quick question, Chris. Does standing up count as movement?
Yeah, takes half your movement.
Does it count as movement for something like that?
Yeah, anything that
It
uses
does.
movement.
Would I be disadvantaged to throw fireballs from the ground?
No.
Yeah. So Casey sits dead upright, assesses the situation, and just turns, doesn't even stand, throws 2 balls of fire, both in the southeasterly direction. And first one, going at the closer one, will be advantaged.
To get roll. Yeah, you can do that from the ground. You'll just be prone to something attacking you as well.
Yeah.
Which from range can help you, actually.
First one's a 13 to hit.
That will hit.
And it's going to be 10 fire damage. That's bad roll. And second. Will be a 23 to hit for 17 fire damage.
So just to cover that quick. Shalati, that might be true. I'm not aware of that. Are you disadvantaged from attacking from prone?
I think so, yeah. Melee attackers have advantage on prone enemies, and prone enemies have disadvantage on attack rolls.
Oh, interesting. All attack rolls, not just melee?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you get the first one for free, but the next one will be.
So with the first one, I'm going to use this sneak attack die, I think. So it'll be
Ooh.
16 damage on the first one, 17 on the second one.
Tell me a story. First one. The second one, though, make that low disadvantage.
Oh, okay. Let me roll.
And 18 still hits.
Yeah, so from the ground, he just throws one, and then right after, throws the other. And as it streaks across, the snow melting underneath it smashes into one, sparks and embers fly up, and the other one right past him to hit the other one. When it hits in the same spot, dead center of mass, kind of igniting them, and they crackle and sizzle and take 2 more steps forward, and then fall face down into the snow as it hisses against the cold ground.
Nice, and they're both dead.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And then Casey lets out a yell, "Everyone up! Everyone up!" And this is significantly louder than probably what Doc did. Yeah, that's gonna be my turn.
The undead from the east starts tearing through the tent where the Thedrian's sleeping. Comes lumbering towards the camp. Another one comes lumbering in, steps right into the campfire, and starts attacking Kabath.
Rude.
Yeah, because you haven't acted yet, it'll have advantage as you're still waking up. Ooh. Does a 23 hit your current armor class?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I take
You're-
11.
Take 11 piercing damage as it bites into you, getting like a kind of a weak point in your armor, and you are grappled as it grabs onto you.
This is what I call a rude awakening.
It's not taking damage from the fire.
It will, in fact, at the end of its turn. Yes.
Am I taking damage from the fire?
Not yet,
You're the square
but
next
you
to the
might.
fire. Oh, flaming zombies!
Maybe if it
is a
stays
whole
on
new
left
problem.
onto you
Being
for long
grappled
enough.
by a flaming zombie? What the fuck, Chris?
Yes, this is awesome.
Oh, 6 fire
This is
damage.
you making a pact with the flame. I thought you didn't have anything to worry about.
I didn't want to become a warlock like this, Chris.
Yeah, you wake up to shouts of screaming and a flaming dead creature biting at you. You see another one stumbling in from the north, and it stumbles up the Typhon. But that's where it ends its turn. Salinger, you're up.
Okay. Sal, hearing all the commotion, will start to stand up, realize that multiple people are leaning on him, and will slowly get up and prop them next to each other. I don't know if they're awake yet, or at least not knock them on their butts, so slowly get up and move them to the side. He's got athletes. It only takes 5 feet to stand up, but I'll use the extra 10 just to be careful not to knock everybody else that was leaning on me down. And then his bonus action, he's going to get some more movement. And use Mythic Burst. Moving. What's the closest thing to a friend? I think he's going to knock a flaming zombie off of Kabeth. So 5, 10, 15, 20, or try to. These almost spectral, almost aqueous looking like silhouettes propel him forward for just the briefest second. Appears next to her. He is going to... Can't draw a sword. Oh, he's got a... Well, would he have slept with a spear? Let me think about that for 1 second.
How attached were you to Saloise's spear?
Like, do I cuddle with a spear in my sleep? Is that the character I'm playing?
It would have been next to you in the bedroll, or like bedroll spear. Like, we're not.
Yeah, no.
We're
Remind
not
me how
dumb
drawing,
kids.
how does drawing weapons work? It's been a while since I played comic.
Half your movement to draw a weapon.
Okay, so with the Mythic Burst, he's got enough movement to do that because it gave him 30 extra feet. So he'll charge in and drive the spear up as he draws it. Poppy will bolt awake too at the same time. So he's gonna stab, plus the Mythic Burst damage, and then Poppy's gonna spit acid over his shoulder at this flaming zombie. Oh, that one already went. Dang, well, I already made my choice. A 9's probably not going to do it, huh? No, a 10 to hit.
It tears through the flesh, but it doesn't seem to need that part.
Okay. The acid will still happen, though. Well, that's assuming I did damage, so I did no damage, so I don't think the acid attack would be able to trigger. Yeah, we'll just skip that. I just fail miserably. I stab a zombie and nothing.
I think the shock and horror of stabbing through something and it being unfazed is worth noting.
And on fire, and hugging a friend of mine, and I just woke up. Haven't had my tea yet.
Doc.
I am my circle here. I was trying to get an idea of how big a spell area was. I can't grab it. Which button do I use to grab it?
You gotta switch back to the pointer.
And then where do I click on it? Because I'm left clicking all over the place and I can't grab it.
You're not still on the ruler, right? You're still
No,
on the
I'm on the
ruler.
pointer. I'm on the select point.
Huh. I'm not sure what you're trying to do.
I was just trying to move a circle to see how much of an area it would affect. Okay. Yeah. She's gonna... Ava's seeing all this stuff, is horrified by it. She runs and is... Ah, there we go. Yes, thank you. I got it! Haha!
Ooh.
Alright. She runs to this side of the camp, on the side of the log. And did Sal successfully push that thing? He did not, no. Right? He didn't push the zombie away, did he?
No.
Okay.
Doc.
Ava,
Doc.
if I'm gonna try something, Chris. I don't know if you want to do an opposed something, but Ava is going to either try to pull Kabeth a direction, or push the grappling creature using her push. So she using a bonus action just sort of looks, sees her friend grappling with it and kind of like feels terrible, like it's partially her fault, and tries to push the zombie off or pull Kabeth away. I don't know if you'll either of those.
I like to think that Kabeth was still half asleep and she's just being like shaken by this thing, and she looks very confused and also maybe on fire soon.
Yeah.
Doc,
Hmm.
you're standing on me.
Sorry, I'll move my character. I didn't see that.
Yeah, we can do an opposed
Neither-
roll.
neither
You'll
did
just
Ava.
be. Let's see. So they usually do. We'll tell you. We'll do it this way. The zombie will roll since it's holding on to Kabeth. It'll just be advantaged on the roll.
Oh, okay. It's a DC 16, I think. So she tries to.
DC 16 strength.
Mm-hmm. I think whatever you're doing the grapple.
Well, it's resisting your ability.
Oh, it is a strength saving throw. Correct.
Ooh, that's a failure. So you're able to
Excellent.
pull Kabeth.
All right. Yeah. She throws it the direction. That's fine. Pulls Kabeth away from it, from its grasp, and then she turns and she casts, a spell where she thinks and starts to still nervous, her hands still like red from the cold. She starts to gesture, and the sort of draws on this alignment within herself, and then within the ground sort of feels into the earth, and from it erupts several vines as a spiked growth appears in where that circle is, which is this one. There we go. Yes. And the vines kind of come up, and jagged looking rocks, vines, branches, and twigs sort of all through the entire ground in that area.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so that will impede their movement and do some damage to them when they move.
Okay, that's end of turn. And I'll move away from standing on Casey. Sorry, Casey.
You're fine.
All right. They're end of turn.
Please roll 12d4.
All right. It's gonna be 25, 36 damage.
And as your spike growth shreds the zombie trying to move through it mindlessly. Just tell me a story.
As it just walks and sort of like shrugs its way through it, pieces of it are just sort of torn apart, and it doesn't seem to notice as it lumbers on, loses part of its hand and then its arm, skin and its flesh is sort of ripped off of its thighs and shins, and eventually like loses most of its top until it kind of collapses. It loses a leg and then collapses over onto the branch, keeps crawling through the rubble, grabbing on with its one stub, trying to like pull its way through until finally it just completely drags itself into pieces.
All right, yes, it is dead. Peach Pine, you are up.
So the spike growth took out one of the zombies? But
Oh, yeah.
are all the other ones stuck in it?
Well, there's spiky plant growth around. You're not sure exactly how it works, but you've seen one of them get shredded.
sorry, I was holding the wrong button down. So that that circle on the map, those creatures within it are not like particularly delayed in any way.
It doesn't seem like it. You saw one of them get shredded as they tried to move through it, though.
Okay, cool.
Oh, it's difficult terrain.
Oh, I missed that part. Well, yeah. So it does look like it would be hard to move through it, I should say.
Okay, thank you. I'm just trying to see what Peach would look at and assess and be like, oh, okay, well, that's handled. She'll stand up on the log bench, right, where Sal had previously been leaning against, and just kind of shaking herself up from sleep, and stands up on her tiptoes, and she pulls out, wrapped around her wrist, a sling and a small skipping stone, and she will aim her sling at the remaining zombie near the automaton fellow.
All right. Make her attack.
Clicking the damn thing, it's not clicking. I forget how to do attacks. Can I not just click it on my character sheet?
Is it in your attack list?
It is, yeah. There we go. Got it. Eventually something happened.
Oh yeah, Vitadrin was not an initiative, but he's getting woken up.
Of course, he's just gonna sleep through this.
He's fine. He's fine.
All right, 21 definitely hits with the sling.
Yeah, thank you. Apparently I was not hitting the advantage button, and I'm not advantaged on it, but that step I was missing, and it wasn't like sending my data.
Gotcha. Oh, like it's asking you.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, the stone hits it. Seems to be effective. It stumbles a bit. Anything else on her turn?
She'll glance at the her friends who are closer to the fire, and especially over her shoulder at Kabeth, and say, is fire the way to go with these things, or how many do we have? What is going on here? And she'll just kind of be scanning around, looking to see who else seems to be in distress, but that will end her turn.
All right, Kabeth, you're up next.
I woke up to a zombie biting me and attacking me and on flame, and then suddenly it gets pushed away from me by Ava's magic, and Sal tried to help out, but now I see that it's on fire, and confirm for me, the ones that are upside down-ish are dead? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
but the one next to Sal is still alive, but on fire.
Still alive, engulfed in flames.
And I'm lying down, but getting up will take half my movement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kibet's arms were under the covers throughout this entire thing, and she kind of like reaches up, touches where she's bleeding, and she's like, ah. And she reaches under the covers again and pulls out her warhammer and jumps up. She's still fully armored. She didn't take anything off. And she looks around, and she yells, by the forge! And her hammer starts to glow with red intensity. I'm using my bonus action to cast a spell that I promptly forgot the name of. Divine Favor. So until the spell ends, my weapon will deal an extra 1d4 radiant damage when I attack. And then she's going to, with half my movement left, make it to there. And she will stand with this glowing aflame hammer, and sees these zombies approaching, and she's going to stand ready there. Can I save my action because I haven't used a reaction, but I've only used a bonus action? Is that within the boundaries of that?
Yeah, if you did not use your action, you could hold it for later, or you could take the dodge action, or you could dash.
Wait, do I get to use dash for free? Hold on. It's been a while.
As a bonus action, I believe.
Okay, but I already used my bonus action. Okay. I was trying to remember. I know we had changed it for me, and I couldn't remember what I could do. Hang on. Let me just double check, make sure I'm not forgetting something else. Yeah, I don't have any movement left, but I'll stand here with a action ready to strike.
Okay,
And
so-
also, I took Warcaster, just letting you know. We hadn't talked about my level up.
Cool. One of the undead creatures comes stumbling in from the south, breaking through those trees, and goes right for Araya, who's northmost there.
Oh no.
I'm gonna see what I can do reaction wise, because I'm scared.
Where's your god now?
Sleep!
Because you're
Yes, but
still... Well, it's attacking you. And because you're still sort of waking up, it's going to have advantage on this attack. Does a 19 hit your armor class?
Oh, certainly. Most certainly.
All right. You hear a snapping of twigs and a burst of this creature out from the tree line. And this zombie comes stumbling up to you, falling to biting into your shoulder. You take 9 points of piercing damage and you're grappled. Ooh, a reaction.
Luckily, because I was damaged for the first time in this game. Right? I get to use this?
Yes, I do believe that is an appropriate use of it.
As the zombie comes up, surprising and attacking her, she looks tired, bedhead, robes still around her. It attacks, bites her, and hurts her, and just from her eyes, a deep blue flame bursts forward, and she just, with a snarl very unlike her, casts Hellish Rebuke at 2nd level.
Fails its saving throw. So please roll 2d10.
Ooh.
Points. Blue fire damage. Yeah. Sears the creature's flesh, bubbling thing. It's barely. You see one of its arms melts and falls off. Barely alive.
Dare you? Like, shit, yeah, don't wake up on the wrong side of bed.
Another one of these creatures comes bursting out of the brush on that far side of the tree, right at Esmond. And it had to use all its movement to get there, so no attack this turn.
Return of the tank.
Esmond, it's your turn.
No tanking this time. Okay. I'm first going to use my bonus action. Not noticing the zombie approaching him yet. He's just going to yell, yell and command Typhon to finish off the one that was just bludgeoned with the sling, and will swing at the zombie directly next to him. 19 to hit for 8 force damage.
Yeah, that will definitely work. Some of the creatures' flesh is knocked away down into the snow.
Oh no, that was
bloodied
the creature next to Typhon, not to me.
Oh. No, that's damage not on Typhon. Yeah, same story. He's bloodied that creature. It's hurt bad.
Okay, and then Typhon will run over and yeah. Let's. You know what better kill than overkill? Typhon is going to run off and stand beside Kibeth.
Okay. As Typhon moves away,
Yeah,
you find out these creatures are grabby. It takes an attack of opportunity at Typhon. No, but does a 12 hit his armor class?
12 does not hit.
Wipes. It does not connect.
Too quick. And then, well, hold on. Let me double check something before I say otherwise. Would I be able to catch the 2 zombies north of me, including the one next to me, in a cone?
What's the what are the parameters on the cone?
Let's see. 30-foot cone that emanates from me.
So, wait, 2 of them north of you?
Yeah, the one that's directly.
Oh, yeah, both of those. Yes, yeah, you could definitely get those both in the cone.
Choice. Instructing Typhon to run and stand by Kibeth. Esmond's going to turn around, see guy in front of him. Be like, nope, don't like that. Pull out his wand, draw a circle in the air that manifests in whole, becoming ice in the air. And as energy gathers in the center of it, it's going to blast forward and catch both of those zombies. I'm catching Rhymes Binding Ice. So they both need to make a DC 16 Dex or Con save. Excuse me.
Oh, weird. If you don't give a value for a save, it's not in the character sheet. What's the DC?
16.
And they both fail.
All right. They both take 11 damage and are hindered in ice for the next minute, unless they can break out.
What you discover is they both take 5 cold damage, and you discover they are resistant to cold.
That seems shenanigans, Chris. Not gonna lie, it's a little shenanigans.
Seems about right.
Turns out, when you make a ice themed character in the middle of a game in winter, and we go into a freezing ocean as well.
Okay. Is it still hindered by the ice? Is it still, does it catch? Is it frozen basically in place?
Yeah, it's still affected by that portion of the spell.
Great. In that case, Esmond will go ahead and just back away and stand near Typhon.
Okay, and remind me, what does the hindrance do?
Let's see. Hindered by ice formations for 1 minute, or until another creature within reach of it uses an action to break away the ice. Creature hindered by ice has its speed reduced to 0.
Okay, well, as you back away, it's going to opportunity attack you. Does a 17 hit your armor class?
Yes. Shield.
Oh.
What a take.
Yes. Yeah, that works. Let me think about that. Yes, that works. Okay, so it does not hit you. Activate shield. And you move away.
Activate shield. As it reaches out, Esmond throws his shield on his wrist up, and an ethereal, like it expands on itself, becoming an almost ethereal shield, and becomes bigger than it can grasp over initially, and he's able to pull away.
Okay.
And that's my go.
All right. Araya.
While grappled, can I? Do I have to make like a grapple, check to hit to hurt this thing?
The only thing that the grapple does currently is that your movement's reduced to 0, so you can't get up or move away or anything like that.
Oh, it snuggled me while I was down.
Yep.
This is horseshit. Extra grumpy.
It's trying to bite you.
I know what's wrong. I hit it, but I don't have a thing to hit it with. I don't want to waste a spell on it, but F this mother fudger. Okay. I wonder what my unarmed attack would be. No, I'd have to be really good at hitting it, and I'm not. I would. Just like pulling her hands in close to her towards the zombie, like it's grappling on top of her. She's going to cast Guiding Bolt straight to the center of it to try to hit it and get up.
Okay, it'll be pretty tough to finish casting the spell with this thing grabbing you and being so close to you. It'll be really difficult to hit. You'll have, I think, 2 layers of disadvantage.
What? So kneeing it in the balls would be a far more appropriate reaction? Like, is casting a spell more difficult than, like, trying to...
Doing a range attack would be more difficult than a melee attack in this instance.
Okay, she's gonna, like, she woke up like a feral cat. It just is, like, just lashing out at it. What? 2 layers of disadvantage, Jesus Christ.
Well, for the melee attack, it'll just be one disadvantage.
Yeah, because strength's not great. I'm gonna click my quarterstaff because I have it loaded, but we can ignore the like fanciness of it.
Okay, sure.
Never mind.
So is that 4 going to stand?
It's not my best thing.
You got this.
I'm not gonna use inspiration.
He's biting you.
I realize. Oh wait. I have an actual close-up spell.
Well, you're locked into this.
Yeah,
'cause you
no,
already
yeah,
did
I'm
it.
locked into this. Yeah. Well, I'll be fine for next time.
Okay, 4 to hit.
It's terrible. No, shoot, no, that's an action. Never mind. Yep, I'm good.
You knee it. It doesn't seem to have much effect. Just crunch. There's a little bit crunch of bone, but it doesn't seem to care. It's still trying to bite you.
No, this is great. This is great. It's going great.
You hear a loud gun crack from the tent. It's a flash of light. Dead Meat Maker's turn. You hear a hissing, chanting sound begin to come from the forest.
What?
Charlotte, hear it.
Gross.
Oh no, I don't like this description.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Shalante snaps awake instantly on the strangled shout to wake, or at least her eyes snap open, but she's deep in the midst of REM, and so it takes a few extra seconds longer for her to react, but as she does, she sees this zombie creature standing over her and pinning down her friend, and she roars to her feet, coming out from the snow and bringing the log that they were leaning up against with her in a shower of snow, heaving it onto the zombie right there. We're kind of in like random spots, but just assume that I'm like at this point, I guess. And she's going to use that log to make an improvised attack on the zombie.
Right.
What kind of weapon would that count as?
Good question. Well, what's an improvised weapon is a specific type of thing, right? It's like usually like a D4.
Usually, I think if you're proficient in improvised weapons, whatever's closest to can stand as like a spear or a quarterstaff or whatever's the closest
Okay.
equivalent.
Well, if you're swinging a big log, I mean, it'll be heavy, but we'll call it a maul, a great hammer.
Okay. I don't actually have that, so maybe they'll just do a halberd but bludgeoning. I don't have it set up right now at the moment.
Sure. Yeah, that works. It'll just be real heavy.
12.
Too heavy.
Is that a 12 to hit?
I feel you. I feel your pain.
Are you staying with the 12?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Don't be like me. I think things are going to get more complicated very quickly.
Yeah, I think I will go ahead and use a breath because a friend is in danger, and also I have too many at this point. So I will reroll that. Not that it helps or did anything. So
Well, you get to pick the higher of the two when you do a breath. 12 hits.
Oh my god!
oh wait, did
Hey,
a 12 almost? Oh no, that was an 11. Okay,
hey, success!
well, oh.
All right, tell me a story.
So 7 plus, yeah. So the zombie looks up, and its dead eyes have no reaction before it suddenly just sees darkness as the log tips over and then just crushes it. It gives a little twitch underneath and then goes still.
Maiden bless. Thank you, Shalati.
Anything else on your turn?
Let's see. From here, what can I see? Oh, there's that one next, like, that's trapped in the ice, right? And then there's those various ones. And there's still the burning one.
Yes.
Hmm. I think she is probably going to go sprinting over to the one that is on fire, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's gonna go running over next to like here. Or wait, no. No, I think she's gonna go stick herself in here and then at the last minute notice that there's a bunch of thorns in the ground and then skid to a stop. And that will be it for her.
It's the turn of the other meat maker. It makes noise.
Are we hearing this? Do we have any idea that this is happening?
I think
Here's
we
some
heard
chanting.
chanting.
Chanting?
Is that chanting coming from the direction of the green light that we managed to see before everything went to shit?
Yes. Though I messed up the placement, but ultimately it's the same.
Okay.
Chris, where did you find piles of meat icons?
2-minute tabletop. They got everything.
Quick question, because it might become relevant during the next round. Stone Rune, like action, it uses a reaction to do the thing. If I'm holding my action and I still have the reaction, can I activate that out of turn and use that reaction to do the thing, or does the reaction get consumed by me just doing a thing? It's weird.
Yeah, so the way it works is when you hold your action, you then have the option later of using a reaction to trigger it, but you don't have to use it for that. You could elect to use a reaction for something else. It just gives you an option
Okay.
of what to use it for.
Okay. So since I still have a reaction, I could potentially use the Stone Rune during this round before I get to my turn.
Yeah, as long as the other parameters are met. Yeah.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure because I wasn't sure.
Doc, please roll 4D... 4D4? 4D4. Yeah. One of the creatures tries to move through the thorns, getting shredded apart. Casey.
Okay. Do I have a pretty good idea of the direction that chanting came from?
Yeah, it's coming from the south. You guys have, if it's on the map, you guys have situational awareness. You just might
Okay.
have disadvantage for range attacks.
Gotcha.
Oh, I didn't even see those guys.
Yeah, but I'm way down.
tricky.
Yeah, Casey will hop to his feet. The quick jump there. And it'll turn and say to the others, sounds like something chanting to the south. Kind of grins at this section of zombies. They're just all trapped up in the vines there. And he says, I'm going to check it out. And Chris, quick question on using dash after using half your movement to stand up. Does dashing at that point give you an extra 30 feet of movement or 15?
The dash would give you 30.
Extra 30, okay. Yeah, Casey will sprint straight down. Right about there. Can I actually see the meat maker and his meat creature from that position there?
Yeah, as you're running south, you kind of skid for a moment. You see a humanoid undead creature with this faint green aura around it, like greenish mist like wafting off of it. And you see this hideous mass of flesh like jiggling and multiple arms crawling up from the ground.
It's worse down here, guys. And he'll straighten up and crack his neck, and one snap and a ball of undulating energy forms in his hand, and it starts off as fire, but then kind of crackles and starts switching to different icy and lightning and some kind of green bubbling thing. And he snaps again with his other hand. A second ball appears as he twins this spell. And he's like, all right. And he throws them cross-handed, and they fly out over the snowy tundra, crossing back and forth, weaving back and forth with each other, flying at these two creatures. He's casting Chaos Ball. First one's going towards the thing in front. Or to the north.
So that 8 stand.
No.
Don't be me.
I have to be. He. I'm going to use a conflagration point to reroll that.
Chris, no. That's terrible, Chris.
There's nothing about this meat that is cute.
Yeah, this is like charcuterie from hell.
Percy gave me the power to reroll that. 19 to hit on the first guy.
That 19 hits.
And I'll use the damage from the first roll.
Yeah. So what is the total in types?
It is a total of 14 damage. Hang on, let me pull up the type real quick. It'll be thunder damage. So as it's flying towards it's green and bubbling right before it hits them, it turns blue and just hits with a crack. Thunder damage strikes that first guy.
Yeah, it blows one of the limbs off, and another one almost immediately replaces it. These things are much stronger than the regular undead you've been fighting.
And then a split second later, the second ball flies towards the creature behind it.
All right.
Or another 19. Or 12 points. Hang on a second. Oh, I actually did that wrong. Sorry. So it couldn't be thunder damage because it's one of the 2d8s that I have to decide from. So it's actually going to be poison damage. It is the green ball that hits it. Whether that affects...
You discover that they are resistant to poison.
Gotcha. It was either that or cold, so I had no choice.
And then 12 of what type to the lower one?
It's going to be lightning damage for the lower one.
Fully effective.
Nice. Yeah, the second ball hits, and it is a blue crack of lightning, and electricity courses through his body there. And that is going to be my turn, I think.
Yeah, you see a flailing mass of limbs digging in the snow. Just comes straight towards you like some meaty, fleshy centipede.
Nope.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
How's it getting worse? How's it getting so much worse than it started?
They were just testing us to begin with. They sent in the pawns. Now the knights.
That flaming undead creature next to Salinger lunges towards him. Kabeth no longer in his reach. Oh, that's a natural one for that undead townsfolk. Salinger, what do you want to do?
I would very much like to catch it as it lunges and push that thing into the fire and then stomp for a while.
Nice.
All right, yeah, you grab it, shove it back into the fire, it falls prone. As it tries to get up, you kick it down one more time. So yeah, so it's now laying prone in the fire. The flames are raging up around it. Because you kicked it down, though, you won't take damage this turn from it. But it takes 3 points of fire damage. Doc, roll 4d4.
Okay.
Another undead badly bloodies as it claws through the brush towards Shalati. One of its limbs getting ripped off. Ava, you're up.
All right, let's see. Well, actually, I said that, but I don't know that that's true. Ava, taking a look at this and sort of seeing Casey and all of her friends, she's kind of runs a little bit towards, a little bit towards Sal, and a little bit back towards them, and not exactly sure exactly where to go. So she lands right here, just sort of looking around, concerned, and she will, no, she decides run a little bit. No, she'll just stay where that is. She's not sure what to do. She doesn't know where everybody is. No, nothing is attacking the friends to the north, right? Araya is safe. Peach is fine. Nothing's attacking Esmond. Kabeth is fine. All those people. There's no zombies there, right?
You see some kind of juddering in the brush, kind of near Kabeth. You heard a gunshot go off near the tent that the Thedrian's in.
Okay. Not exactly sure what to do. She tries to just move into position so she can hopefully help anybody. So she moves basically where she is, and as a bonus action, she's going to try to shove this zombie. Have him make a strength saving throw, please. DC 16.
You're shoving... Oh, sorry. Ping the one again?
The one right next to Shalai.
Kabeth?
Shalai.
Like Shalai.
Yep.
It's 15.
She shoves him south towards the other zombie into the brush. Takes 5 more piercing damage.
He doesn't take it from you moving him when he moves.
Oh. Okay. Let's see the last part of the turn. Yeah, she knows that Casey ran a little bit far away. She's panicking a little bit. All right, she's gonna run to. She's gonna run a little bit south here. Try to keep an eye on everybody. She's looking around. She doesn't know what to do. She holds her action.
Okay, Salinger, you're up.
Did I learn anything about piercing damage when I hit it last time? Or did I miss?
You actually missed. I was just giving flavor.
Okay, gotcha. So I would not know enough about undead. That my spear's probably a bad idea. Okay. Sal is just going to walk, well, I guess jog 30 feet towards this mess of zombies. Use his bonus action to have Poppy attack. Nobody's grappled anymore anywhere.
Glancing around, doesn't look like it.
Okay, so Poppy will just jump over this log, run around this corner, slide, and then do a jumping claw attack at that zombie right there.
Make that attack, but then also think when you move in, able to roll 2d4 on Poppy.
Oh, okay.
Into that area.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to see the thorns through the trees, right?
Ooh, 8.
Okay, that's perfect rolling. So proud of you.
Sorry.
Make your attack.
Oh, good. A 2. Does a 8 hit?
Does not claw through the flesh, but must not have been an important part.
All right. Well, Sal will use his action holding the spear in one hand, he flexes the fingers on his gauntlet in the other, and mist forms into a shield, coalescing around his forearm. And that's it for me.
Peach Pine, you're up.
Sorry, just a moment. I have a little friend in my room.
Okay, sure. Do you want to pass? You want to take your turn later?
Yeah, actually, would you mind if I hold my turn?
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Kibeth.
Peach does not. Okay. No, Kibeth, go. Peach holds her turn. Thank you.
Kibeth, you're up.
That zombie that's kind of in the bush, I see there's like a little snail. Does it mean, is there some kind of effect on it that I can tell?
Yeah, he's covered in ice.
That kind of side-eyes that one. She saw Casey run off to the south. She hears commotion going on. She's going to go that way. Hold on while I figure out how far I can go. So my regular movement will bring me there, I think. I'm going to use my bonus action to dash. Is that pile of meat moving?
Yep, it's running straight for you.
This thing south of the bush, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Quebec's gonna dash to there. And I'm gonna hit it with my hammer.
Swinging your hammer.
Bold strategy.
So fast.
This is a 25 hit.
25 does in fact hit.
And then it's gonna take some extra radiant damage, which I didn't program, I think. Maybe I did.
Your current formula is the dice roll plus 3. Which I assume is just your strength by itself.
Sorry, say that again?
Right now, your dice roll formula is the dice roll plus 3. I'm assuming 3 just encompasses your strength.
Plus proficiency?
Not for damage. Proficiency does not add to damage.
Okay, yeah. So I rolled a 7 plus 3. Alright. But I'm saying that I get some additional radiant damage, but it's not auto-calculated. I have to roll a d4.
Yeah, I was just saying that it's probably not in there, based on the thing. It sounded like you weren't sure if it was in there yet.
No, I wasn't sure if I had set up a button specifically for this spell yet, but I have not. So that's one additional radiant damage on top of the 10 bludgeoning.
Alright, yeah, you give it a good smack, there's a flash. Yeah, you've heard it, but you can tell from hitting it, this thing's pretty strong.
Let me just make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I'm gonna use my Divine Smite. Or do I have to call that ahead of time?
You only have to call it ahead of time to execute a critical. You can do it after. You just can't critical with it.
Okay, so then I can roll an additional 2d8.
Nice. What's your Divine Smite look like?
So that's gonna add in 9 damage. Rolled a 1 and an 8. Wow. Yeah, when Kebeth brings her hammer down upon this, it's already glowing with the spell that she's cast, but it flares like when the hammer strikes hot metal on her anvil. An additional fire dances out across the creature.
Ooh, this is undead, right? It does an extra 1d8. It's the last line of Divine Smite.
Grace.
Give it a roll.
Yay. That's an additional 6.
Right. Yeah, the hammer, boom, tears part of it open. Some organs spill out, steaming into the snow. You've bloodied it.
Yeah. God damn.
Beth raises her hammer as if she's going to strike again, but that's the end of my turn.
What's the deal with the frost-rimed ice zombie? Can it get out of the ice? What's it do?
Let me double check. It or another creature uses its action to break away the ice.
All right, use its action to break away the ice. Psh, you hear shattering over in those bushes. Esmond, clock right. Your turn.
Oh shit. They broke free. Yeah. Firebolt. $16 to hit for 12. Damn, 12 fire damage.
16. Does in fact hit. Tell me a story.
Yeah, Esmond hears the ice cracking as it begins to break free, so before he goes running off, he's going to turn around, just striking the underside of his wrist guard and launching a firebolt and catching it in the mouth. So its jaw and neck just start to melt from the heat.
Down it goes, steaming into the snow.
Sorry, give me just a second. I'm double checking my bonus actions. Yeah, just follow where everyone else is headed and have Typhon keep 5 feet ahead of me. So I'll use my full movement to just move and have Typhon beside me as well.
Rhea, you're up.
I'm actually going to stand up. It's really nice. She stands up, sort of brushes herself off, and casts mage armor on herself. As Casey said, something worse was coming our way.
Right. What's your mage armor look like?
From within, just prismatic sort of like shattering of light around her that seems to touch on all the parts of her limb and then fade to a dull glow just over her robe. And then I'm going to move south, half my movement, so yeah. Well, I can use my, yeah.
That's good. Casey, a bit from your east, you hear cracking limbs, sound of so many hands in the snow.
This really is just the Nazi zombie snowfield movie.
Has it? That's funny. I haven't seen that.
I mean, don't they they literally crawl out of the snow, don't they?
I think so, yeah.
You hear another gun crack over from the eastern tent.
He's so struggling with that one zombie.
No, he should have gotten it by now.
I think Salate is going to use her action to call out, "Sir, are you doing all right?"
Yeah, you see him come stumbling out of the tent, looking around, worrisome expression on his face. You hear more chanting from the south, glowing green. Right there in front of you, Kabeth, that creature starts bubbling like over itself, more limbs clawing out from inside of its own body, and it doubles in size.
Oh my god.
Come on! No!
It's no longer bloodied. Shalati.
I think Shalati dashes back to where she left her. Her, not literally dashes, but, descriptively dashes back to the log where she had left her halberd and the javelins, speared into the ground, snatches them up, and turns back. So question, since we use Euclidean distancing, does that mean that the 10-foot range of a halberd only extends out to these squares, like the direct cardinal directions, but she can't do like these slightly offset ones?
Yeah, that is one of the downsides of doing it that way.
Okay. I guess she will move over one then. If she can move into the space beneath this tree.
Yes.
Okay. And then she will extend out with the halberd.
One thing I might ask is, how accurate was that circle, Doc?
I think perfectly accurate.
Okay. Yeah, you are under threat from the thorns if you go into that space.
Do I move 5 feet into it?
Well, you're not actually moving 5 feet into it, but that step into that occupied space will qualify for the D4, whatever the first rung of damage is.
Okay. So okay. I think then she will test the javelin, the one that has a chain wrapped around her, or wraps a chain around her fist.
Chain return time.
And we'll toss it at that bloodied one that's closer.
Nice. 25 definitely is going to hit. Tell me a story.
It lances through, basically spearing it right through the head, and the body goes limp and sort of just sags, held slightly upright by the thorn that pushes it in deeper. She jerks it back with her bonus action and reels the javelin back toward her, and resets essentially. I think. Does she have enough space? She might have. I think she has enough movement to shift over one. If she does, then I'll move her. I'm just gonna.
Also, I realized, pretty sure that townsfolk, right? That undead townsfolk wasn't an initiative. You hear more chanting from the southeast. And Casey, out of the corner of your eye, you see that creature in front of you. It seems to somehow get much closer, but you realize, no, it's not closer. It's just bigger. All right, another townsfolk's trying to escape. Doc, roll a d4.
It's 2d4.
No, 2d4.
5 more.
Tell me a story. As this one tries to claw its way out of the thorns right in behind Esmond.
It goes up to it, and instead of getting out of the bushes completely, it gets snagged on one, and like a soldier going across barbed wire just kind of gets stuck in it and just falls limply and half hanging there. Its arm just dangling.
Casey, you're up.
Can I still see and target this far guy?
He'll get some extra armor class because there's so much in the way now, but you can try to attack him. He's just gonna get +4 armor class.
Just curve the bullet.
Yeah.
Like that one really good shadow puppet play.
Hmm.
And Chalate, if you want to move like half into that, you'll have advantage on your saving throw, but you'll just be threatened by the effect.
There's no saving throw.
Is there not? Oh, well, maybe resistance to the damage then. Yeah. That's
Yeah, I think Casey's gonna make this shot. Casey stands his ground. Cracks his neck a bit, and looks at the results of the last 2 balls of energy he threw. Poison and lightning. No offense, Esmond, but he says to himself, "Why didn't I just use fire?" He snaps his finger, and this time a determined ball of flame erupts in his hand. And he breathes in deeply, and the flame grows even larger. And he snaps again, and a second equally large flame erupts in his hand. And I'm going to upcast Chromatic Orb as a twin spell towards the 2 creatures. First one is going towards the far guy. It will be advantaged from my ability.
That's good.
And I'm going to use some sneak attack dice if it hits. He leans back and throws out this ball of fire that lights up the surrounding area.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Natural 20.
Holy
Okay,
shit.
great. Casey's back. Awesome. And this
Sneak
this fight is
attack
over.
dice.
Yeah. And this ball of flame flies out. So,
Yeah. Remember, if you called the sneak attack ahead of time, you get to critical it.
okay, so I'll double that as well.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
So, this ball of fire streaks through the area. Kabeth, it flies right by your head. It is hot and larger than any ball of fire that you've seen him throw. And actually, it should have another couple of D8 in there because I did upcast it to level 3.
All right. Make sure you give those a roll and double the. Well,
So that'll be
yeah.
2 more D8.
Does that include the critical?
Yeah, so one D8 to upcast, and so I doubled that to 2. Because it's level 3 spell slot.
I think that's 55.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, this ball of fire streaks out past Kabeth's head. It singes the leaves of the trees as it flies by and strikes the figure standing down there and just lights up the area. It's just... There's a ball of flame that erupts into the air as it hits him. Yeah, so the 19 from those 4d8 were my sneak attack dice.
And your sneak attack is up to 8 now? Or sneak attack is rolling d8s? Or
Sneak
is it
attack
d6s?
never goes beyond d6s.
You're absolutely right. Sorry about that. Roll d6s. I'm thinking divine smiters. So take 9, 8, 7. Take 7 off of that, so that'd be 48.
48. Okay. Tell me a story.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this all of you up by the fire and stuff, just the sky gets lit up down to the south. For a brief moment, it looks like the sun is rising, and then it slowly fades down. And you see Casey standing there just below the tracks, wind and flames kind of swirling around him. And he has another ball of fire in his hand, and he throws that one. And this one's flying at the one next to Gabeth. I will use one sneak attack die if I hit. But it's going to be normal. Normal advantage. Not advantage.
There's a limit of how many sneak attack dice you can use per
Per hit, right? Or is it per your turn?
It's per turn.
So he used 2d6 and then doubled it, right?
Correct, yeah. So
Yeah.
I've used 2 so far this turn.
Okay.
Numberless.
Okay, you didn't max out the first one. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I should
Sneak
have.
attack only applies once per turn, though.
With the way that I split up the way that they can do sneak attack, you can split up that number into the number of attacks that you want. You're just limited to that limit.
Cool. Yeah, coming in. Yeah, the second ball. Trying to figure out a way for me to be able to ask me to upcast it, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's weird. There's it'll typically ask you when you can.
Yeah, I thought it would. But that's alright. I'll just roll an extra d8 if it hits the second ball. Comes flying out.
Yeah, maybe between your turns, there's like an option in there that turns it on.
It's a 10 there, but Casey's lucky.
Oh,
14 gonna stand.
No, I'm going to use conflagration point. Ah,
Gotta roll.
there we go.
19 definitely hits.
19 hit. Using the first damage, plus an extra d8.
Then your d6. What's your total?
21 plus 8, 29 total fire damage to the second guy. Kabeth, a second ball of fire flies right by your head. This time strikes the creature right in front of you with a... And you can feel the heat hit you in the face as all the snow underneath the creature's feet just melts to water. And he's standing in a puddle by the time the fire kind of burns down. All the grass around him is singed and black. And if you look back, Casey is just standing there, arms outstretched, grinning. Yeah, so that's going to be my turn.
You blow open off some of the limbs and some ribs crack open and steaming organs fall out on the ground in front of Kabeth, splashing her boots. You've bloodied the creature. Thing seems to wail out with dozens of mouths in pain as the flames burn it. Lashes out with an attack at Kumbath, who's right there. Kumbath, does a 21 hit you currently?
Yes.
Grabs onto you, pulls you into all these mouths that begin biting at you. You take 25 points of piercing damage, and you are
Empress?
grappled.
I think I'm bloodied. Hang on. Took 25 piercing. Oh, I see it, actually. I am, in fact, bloodied.
Casey, you see as this thing takes the hit from you, but it grabs onto Kabeth and starts biting onto her with dozens of mouths, each of them screaming, hungry.
Ava uses her reaction. She the constellations in sort of inside her, the light sort of rearranges and flares up just a little bit. She cast her thing, her starry form. Use my reaction, my held action, I guess.
Good. Remember, Salinger, did you kill the one at the campfire?
I mean, I left it in a smoldering pile. I don't know if it burned to death or not.
Okay. It gets up to its feet. Wanders over to Ava. Attacks her from behind.
Oh.
Does a 16 hit you, Ava?
Yes, it does.
9 points of piercing damage. You are grappled as it grabs onto you. At the end of its turn, the flames burn it and you.
That's not fun.
It's really not fun.
2 points of fire damage.
Okay, Sal is racked with guilt.
It's okay, Sal.
That zombie's name is Marshmallow.
Then, if you're holding concentration on anything, remember to do that.
Will do.
Salinger, your turn.
Sal is racked with guilt, but he sees a bigger threat coming towards us from the south, so he's going to go towards that.
Ooh. The zombie catches her by surprise, and she's about to lose concentration when suddenly, she's zapped by one of Esmond's devices and manages to maintain the concentration she's holding. She's expended one use.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Technology is great.
I'm being a support character. This is what I wanted.
You get in there and tank.
No, that's not what I want.
Cool item. I like that.
Take right now. Alright, so Sal's, after seeing what that first mouth monster did, is going to run towards the other one to make sure it can't get to anybody else. And then use Mythic Burst again to go another 30 feet towards it. And then Huck Salois to spirit the thing
All right, let's give it a roll.
with a running javelin style throw. He's going to launch at it. He gets advantage from Mythic Burst, but if it's more than 20 feet, because it's only 20 feet for regular range, 60 for long range, does that end up being a normal attack roll?
Sorry, I didn't quite follow.
I couldn't remember if long range for a ranged weapon was disadvantage or not.
Yes.
Okay, so advantage for Mythic Burst with disadvantage for long range, which makes it a regular attack then.
Okay.
That was a 27 hit.
Mine does.
Sweet. Oh, Poppy acts during my turn, so I need to move her with me. Oh, no, I don't. She's over there. Never mind. She's not going to be able to do anything. So an extra d8 on top of that 11. Force damage.
Is that 18?
Mhm.
Okay, so the piercing portion it is resistant to. The force damage it is not. So with is that 11 piercing?
Yeah, it's a +2 weapon, so 9 piercing with the +2, and then 7 force damage.
All right. Yeah, it sticks in. Bit of blood splatters.
And when it strikes, I'd like to say the force damage just kind of bursts out of it in a circle, shooting a little bit of flesh everywhere.
Awesome.
And already bonus action moved. Yeah, that's it for me.
At the end of Salinger's turn, the western of the meat piles uses its one legendary action for its enhancement to attack Kibeth again.
No.
Uh-oh. Does an 11 hit you?
It definitely doesn't.
Yes!
But let me
Dodgy.
also make sure that I don't have anything that I can do because I'm being hit.
Okay.
I got a lot of things on my sheet, and I don't know them all yet.
Oh. It'll still. Let me see. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think it matters. I used the wrong character sheet.
Okay.
I'm assuming a 13.
Oh, that was the undead townsfolk.
Yeah, I'm assuming a 13 would not hit you.
No.
All right. If
I
you
think we're good.
have. Okay, sounds good. Doc, you're up.
She reaches out and is like, the monster's on her. She's still like concentrating on Kibeth and sort of reaches her hand out that direction and realizes she is just out of reach and she has to get away from this thing. She's like, get off! She starts to wave her hands and the alignment inside her. She casts another spell. Please have the zombie roll an intelligence saving throw, DC 16.
Dang.
Oh god, it got close. Okay. Now she tries to reach out and uses her hand, with just her mind, tries to throw the creature off of her, knowing she can't do it physically. She's just trying to use her power to just shove the creature in the same way she had earlier. So please have it roll up. I guess advantage strength saving throw, DC 16.
Fail.
Hell yeah. She breaks free. The zombie pushes it back in the pile. She goes running as fast as she can towards Kebeth. She's like, hold on! She runs up and she's like right next to Casey.
Good.
And that'd be the end of her turn.
Peach Pine. You're up.
Sorry, I had to step away from the game for a couple minutes and deal with some family stuff, but
fine.
I'm just getting bearing on the map.
Yeah, most of what you see is a lot of things around you have been killed, but everyone's moving to the south. There's shouts about a bigger creature down there.
Thank you. I really appreciate the update, actually. In that case...
Oh, sorry. Worth noting, just off to your screen right, there is a zombie on fire that is kind of lumbering in your direction-ish.
That's the one that that Doc just shoved off of her. Yeah.
Right.
Right, cool. I was there for that bit. All right, cool. Let me just think for a second. All right, cool. Yeah. And I think Peach will glance at the on fire zombie and just kind of make a face as she tails her friends to the south.
Sounds good.
And I think that'll end the turn.
Okay. Yeah, just figure out your movement, and Beth, you're up.
Kate held a turn because she was not here.
It's true. Okay. Yeah, we'll actually give you. You can have a whole other turn, actually.
Oh, good gracious. Okay. I guess I'm having trouble even like clicking on Peach right now because they updated Roll20 and I don't have right click on my mouse.
You should
The
have to
arrow
right
thingy.
click.
I got her. Yep. Thank you. So Peach would. Let's see. I'm doing some math. So using her first turn, she would dash up until about here, and then noticing the thing attacking Kebeth, Peach would probably knowingly go for her magic. Let's see. They're not great zombie spells, but that's what she would think to do. Ooh, can I move a little bit further and physically touch Kebeth? Should be able to.
If you have the movement.
I think I have movement.
Just double check.
Kebeth, what's your weapon? Your hammer, right?
Mm-hmm. A nice glowy hammer.
All right, Peach is going to, as she sort of trips forward, moving southward toward her friends, running at speed, passing the different bodies and piles of things on fire. She gets close to Kebeth, but still not quite within range to grab her friend's hand. And instead, she focuses on the meat pile behind her, and she'll cast Shatter.
Ooh.
All right. Okay, I'm assuming you'll be able to get in a place where I won't hit Kebeth.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
you save throw.
I mean, you could hit Kebeth.
The aim is not to hit Kebeth.
Okay, and this is a level. This one is enhanced once, so it is going to get +6 to saving throws. Needs a 15 con. It's a maker. So it's an 18 on the die plus 6 for 24. So it'll take half of that amount of damage, I believe, which is 11 thunder.
So 5.
Plus,
not nothing.
plus bloody.
Plus bloody?
Yeah. And then what's half of your character level rounded down?
Rounded down 3 because we're all level 7, right?
All right, yeah. There's an oscillation within the flesh, and bits go flying off. That doesn't hurt you, but there's a thunderous boom in your ears.
I'm being
And
grappled,
then
right?
Yeah, you're grappled.
Pete's gonna use her bonus action to say, Kibeth, got anything I can do to help? And she's gonna throw a bardic inspiration her way. That's a D6
Cool.
you can add.
Awesome.
Right, remind me what those are good for, because I never remember.
I think it's a tax ability check saving throw, something like that.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah,
so.
let me just double check. Inspire others through stirring words or music. To do so, use a bonus action on your turn to choose one creature other than yourself. A bardic inspiration die. Once within the next 10 minutes, the creature can roll that die and add that number rolled to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Okay, so it is within 10 minutes, so I don't have to use it on this turn. Cool. Thank you.
And Kibeth, it's your turn.
Confirm I am being grappled, yes.
Yes, you are grappled.
Kibeth sees this thing get bigger. It grabs her and attacks her, and she's kind of like fighting against it, and it gets hit by her friends, and she's like, two could play that game. And I'm going to use my bonus action to become giant.
Oh.
And obviously, I need to use my action to try to break the grapple.
If you want to break the grapple, you can. Yes, you could do that.
Yes, because I can't. Can I still hit it?
You can still attack. The grappling just reduces your movement.
All right. Well, I get big, which would give me advantage on a strength check. Trying to decide, I'm not going to waste my action to escape it. I'm just going to raise my hammer up high and bring it down as hard as I can.
All right. Make your attack.
That's not advantaged. Sorry, hold on.
Well, just use the first one if it's not advantaged.
But a 9, I'm going to use a snack point to re-roll that.
Absolutely.
And you just use your second roll as snack.
Snack points.
It's the best name for it.
I hadn't changed the name yet from Destiny Points, and I was like, where are my snack points? I see it. So reroll. That's a 21.
Awesome. That will definitely hit. Use the first damage of 13.
And then I'm going to have additional damage from my spell that I've still maintained.
Heck yeah.
Which is a d4. So that's an additional 2 radiant. So 15 total so far. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything.
Plus you're bloodied.
Oh,
Should be fine.
bloody too.
So I'm counting 13 plus
I get
2.
additional d6 damage because I'm giant now. Hold on.
Nice.
That's an additional 6. I knew I was missing something.
So 13. Oh yeah, 13 plus 2, 15 plus 6, 21. Plus 3 to 24. Is that right? That's right.
That's it for this turn.
All right, yeah. You break open more ribs. You send some meat flying out against, splattering against the snow. This thing, it's kind of collapsing on itself. You see some limbs trying to hold itself up. It's in really bad shape.
Steal, kill Casey. Steal, kill Casey.
Roll 3d4, please. Oh, no,
I think
sorry.
it's
64.
Cool. 13.
And just so you know, Chris, I have a heart out at 11.
Okay, sounds good.
I
Esmond,
also
right,
do.
Esmond, right behind you. Kind of stumbling out of all those thorns, you see one of those undead creatures. It's reaching for you. It can't attack you this turn. It's there.
Time to tank.
Araya, you're up.
I'm going to move forward. Yeah, that's not. Okay. And then pulling from her meta magic, she's going to cast Twin Spell Radiant Bolt. Guiding Bolt. Radiant damage. Guiding Bolt.
Who are you attacking?
The two fleshy, creepy things.
The one on the right will get +2 in our class, just because Sal's kind of annoying.
I'm gonna use one of my destiny points to re-roll that.
Okay, and sounds good. Which one are you attacking first? Left, then right?
Yeah, left and then right.
Okay.
Much better.
Ooh, 24 hits.
And then that would be 16 radiant damage.
Tell me a story.
Ooh. Still just absolutely disheveled and with still the lingering light of her armor cast on her, she stumbles forward just behind KC and has sights of both, but begins to murmur a prayer and asking the maiden for help most fervently, casts a glistening bolt of light that streaks between the snow-covered trees and into the meaty maw of hands and too many eyes. The horror shambling and holding her friend.
So I burst in a pop and meat goes flying.
Blech.
Beth's left standing. It's done.
Casey turns back after this bolt flies past his head and grins at Araya and sees her getting ready to throw a second ball, and he's like, "You're doing two? Nice."
Yeah. So it was twin bolt, so I can't use a destiny point twice.
Not for the same attack set. They're both part of the same attack.
Yeah. Maybe it'll
Look
hit. Maybe it won't hit.
What is it? A 14? Is 14 the total?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, but if it doesn't hit, you tell me.
Look for you 14 hits.
Oh, thank God. Well, because I have a little sneaky maiden thing. So, just in case.
We know.
Oh, thank goodness. And then a second bolt. Not nearly as strong as the other, but still shining light crashes into the next abomination and it illuminates briefly. And she kind of recoils. Oh God, what is that? Oh, maiden, what is that?
The next attack against the big one on the right, will have advantage.
Somebody's got to help me remember.
Anything else on that turn?
She walked. She talked. We're good.
Esmond, you're up.
Yep. First things first, Typhon is going to use 10 feet of movement to walk up beside me and stand in front of the Zombo. And then Esmond is going to take off using his full movement to move away. Does the zombie attack?
Yes. Sorry, I missed what part of the screen you're on. It's going to take a bite.
Typhon's going to use its reaction and impose disadvantage.
Ooh.
Oops, sorry, that was the wrong one.
Versus 13. 19. 13's lower the 2.
13 does not hit.
Nice.
From my current position, what is my line of sight to the enemy in the bottom right of the screen? Do I have a clear line of attack on them?
No, you're partially obscured kind of by all that brush and things like that, so it'll get +2 armor class.
Alright, that's fine. Yeah, Esmond will run towards the direction of the light and the other chanting that is down south of him, and will strike his wrist guard and launch a firebolt.
Wait. Which guy? Same result. Oh,
that's a natural 20.
20.
My fire, I tell you.
How much damage?
That's 9 plus 12, so 21 total fire.
Okay, and you're attacking... Who you're attacking? The guy in the bottom?
Okay. Yeah, the one that's getting pinged.
Alright, so it's 21 fire damage, right? Yeah, the flame, boom, hits him, and it's part of the robes up around the shoulder, igniting the flame. He stumbles back and turns face towards you. The hiss, and you can see there's almost a greenish light in the eyes and the decrepit mouth. Can get you with fire.
Seeing this fire erupt out of Esmond's hand, Casey laughs and Esmond Clockride, yes!
Celebrate later, please! And then he's going to yell Command Typhon to take a swing at the zombie that he just ran from.
Sounds good.
24 to hit for 7 force damage.
Tell me a story, Typhon.
Oh my god. Yeah. So Typhon stayed behind to deflect, to keep it from biting at Esmond. So as Esmond takes off, it's going to... it swings the hammer, it swings the hammer to throw the arm up, and then it will bring the hammer back around, turn in a full 180, and just bring it to the sternum of the creature, breaking it into 2 full pieces.
Okay, nice. Anything else on your turn?
Can we do a minor retcon? We never rolled Zephyrus into initiative. So if possible, can we just throw him onto my initiative, and then I would just be having him move at this moment? I would have had him moving along with me.
That would be fine. So far, he's just been staying out of danger. So.
Okay, so in that case, what I have him doing currently is sitting 30 feet, or flying 50 feet, or 30 feet above everyone else, and I'm going to have him fly towards the zombie priest thing that I just attacked.
All right, sounds good. At the end of Esmond's, the end of Esmond's turn, so many of those heads flip over in his direction. And the meat pile is going to use its
no.
legendary action to leap toward him. I need you to make a dexterity 15, the DC 15 dexterity saving.
Me?
Mhm.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Dex is, yeah, that's fine. That's my best thing.
We've seen you dance. We know better.
Ooh,
Ooh.
hell yeah.
Yeah. You dodge out of the way. It comes down
Oh,
in the
goodness
snow,
sakes.
throwing snow up in all directions, and you see 100 mouths screaming at you and arms reaching out for you.
Good, good, good. Esmond just starts going, ah!
On the creature's turn, it lunges at you, Esmond. Character sheet.
Tank, 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 tank.
Ooh, does a 21 currently hit you? You're not transmitting?
Yes, I was talking to myself. Yeah. Yeah, it hits. I don't do anything.
Alright, you take 25 piercing damage. Just grabs on, pulls you in, and all those mouths start biting on. You've been grappled.
Hey, Esmond's bloody.
God damn
Quit taking, Kevin.
What was that, Doc?
it.
Adrian stumbles through the snow from the 10th and north, points his pistol at the back of the head of that, the zombie that's on fire.
It just, the zombie, the last thing it says is, please kill me.
It's just a mercy.
Not a marshmallow.
Chris, can you also make my character large?
Yeah.
Ooh.
My size is not accurately represented on this map, please. Thank you.
Big Kibeth.
Treat.
Yeah, you see there's a gun crack up in the north, and one of the zombies falls. And it's Lottie, you're up.
So moving through friendlies is rough terrain, difficult terrain. Like if I went this way, would I encounter difficult terrain along the way?
Yeah. But you can go move through them.
Ooh. Wait, how do you double measure?
Right click along the way.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I think I should do okay. So she starts sprinting toward the south, pushing past Poppy through the brush, using her movement and action dash, which takes her to like here. I think is where does that? Yeah. So it should be like 60 feet. And then as she goes along the way, her eyes begin to brighten, a teal glow, an awful glow beginning to fill them. And you see these shimmering ghosts of snakes begin to fan out around her until she gets to this point, and then she actions her to use another to hold the chain return javelin that she's still holding and launches it toward the creature that has Esmond in his grasp.
Your advantage as well.
Oh shit, okay. Will you sneak
Yes.
attack then?
From the guiding bolt.
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you for remembering, because
Oh, there it is.
Oh, damn. It's too bad I was using not my best weapon. Anyway, so that will end up really only being 5 and 8, so 13 damage.
And it's all piercing.
Yeah, that's all piercing. Oh, this is a pretty bad crit roll.
Dang.
Yeah, so 13 piercing.
Yeah, and you discover much solid and is resistant to piercing damage. Sticks in there. You see some of the heads look over you.
Esmond's his grapple is being harassed by all these mouths, and like sees this thing pierce and like turns and sees that's connected to a chain. It's like, oh good, it works.
But since I hit it, let me actually. I don't think I have actually used this to any effect because everything else I hit before died. So, since I hit it while I'm raging,
Oh.
humble brag.
Everything else just died, you know. Now you still one shot.
So as she strikes, as the javelin goes along, one of these serpents around her shoots forward with it and wraps around the latches onto the meat thing, and sort of has an almost a phantasmal kind of force to it, and so it finds it'll have difficulty hitting anything else besides her as the serpent keeps trying to drag its attention toward her.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, very cool. Also perfectly timed. Okay, yeah. Okay. End of turn for you?
Oh yeah, sorry, that's it for me.
Yeah. At the end of Shalati's turn, the creature is going to it's going to be using its legendary action, disadvantaged to let me think about that. No. You see it just like rearing up, about to lay in all the mouths, about to bite into Esmond, and then those spectral creatures flare up around Shalati, and it pauses just before it's about to bite, and all the heads look over to her, and its body just kind of moves as a fleshy, meaty mass across Esmond, breaking through the branches, moving towards Shalati. It maintains its grapple on Esmond for now, because it can move right there.
Ew, it's like, ew. It's holding with like multiple,
Esmond isn't yelling anymore, but it's very much a ew, help, ew.
And it is going to make an attack at Shalati instead of Esmond.
Exactly as planned.
Hey, wait, are you taking my tank role, Shalati? What the fuck?
You don't want to have taken that tank roll.
It's the opposite of kill stealing.
Damage stealing.
And it can grapple two people.
Does a 22... Oh, it has so many hands. Does a 22
But
hit you?
It does in fact hit.
Okay, you're looking at 31 piercing damage.
Okay. That will be a 16 as oh yeah,
Raging.
something about the blue light that is washing over her seems to buffer her against his attacks a bit.
Nice. Yeah, and so you are grappled. All right. There's more chanting in the south, and there's a green, fiery glow from within the meat of the creature in front of you. And as it had grown before, it grows again.
Oh my god.
Shunting Esmond to the south a little bit. Now it's even bigger than Kabeth. More limbs seem to break out of its insides. It rips its own ribs open, and it's like somehow more of it is just crawling as it turns itself almost inside out. Steam rising up around it in the cold. More faces screaming on its surface in the scent of decay, disease. Casey.
Yeah, Casey sees all this going down right in front of him. And he looks up at this grown creature and he holds up a finger and says, "Hold on, S." And he runs away around this bush here. Takes off sprinting, extra fast, bonus action dash, and gets to right here. And he says, "You're gonna want to duck." Snaps twice, and the same motions as the last time. A ball of flame appears in his hand, and then grows to an even larger size. He is upcasting Twinned Chromatic Orb at level 2. And I'm going to use my remaining... I think I have 2. Yeah. Remaining 2 sneak attack dice on the guy. The little meat maker guy, if I hit him. First one going towards him. Yeah, ball of flame comes to his hand, and he just... 19 to hit.
"19 hits.
Not the best rolls, but yeah, the ball of fire streaks across the sky and slams into the humanoid. Flames erupt in his core, and he takes 22 points of fire damage.
Yeah, there's a blast. When the blast that hits, it burns more of... This is fire damage, right?
Fire damage, yeah.
Yeah, burns more of the robes and sends them tumbling about, and you realize as this creature stumbles back, now the inside's flesh, bones showing the part of its chest where it's burned the robes away. You realize, though, as it spins, you see where most of the cloth had been dilapidated and disgusting with grime and blood. There's still enough of the back of it that's intact that you can see it. You realize what you're looking at is the robes of one of the givers.
Yeah, he stares for a moment, the flames flickering in his eye of the second ball of fire that he's holding.
And you've bloodied it. He's hurt bad.
Yeah. And then he turns quickly and launches the second ball of fire straight at the giant creature. And he yells, "Doc!" Towards Esmond. This ball is coming right at you. I mean, obviously he's not aiming for Esmond, but...
Creature ducks.
Oh,
he does it.
Oh, natural 20.
Got the
He's
gift.
going to take it's 20, 31 points of fire damage as the ball hits the creature right next to Esmond, but just far enough that it doesn't burn him, but you feel the heat, man. There's just... It's loud, it's hot. Yeah, you can feel sweat start to form on your forehead as the flames eat into this creature and start cooking his flesh.
Yeah, it blows away some of the limbs, some of the mouths, breaking open some of the ribs. More flesh, more faces seem to replace where the fire's burned away. This thing's tough. You're hurting it. It's tough.
And he yells, "We have to take out the one down here," and he points in the direction of the guy to the southeast. And he kind of yells that to the group.
Okay, at the end of Casey's turn, a now larger creature uses its second legendary action it's gained access to. It's going to take, while some of the mouths are biting Shalati and pulling her in, some of the other mouths turn towards Esmond. Actually, no, it's big enough now that Kabeth's right there. Well, it's already holding Esmond. It reaches out and grabs on Kabeth, pulls big Kabeth in.
Does it? Does it pull me in?
Maybe it might miss. Disadvantaged attack. Ooh, maybe not. No, it does have a +2 to that, so it is a 17 hit.
17 does not hit.
No! Hands clawing, trying to pull you in, trying to bite. Armor's too good.
What you don't know is that all the snacks she eats has left it very greasy from her like oiling her armor, so she's extra slippery too.
Nice.
Why are you trying to make this more gross?
Maybe a little blood too. She's already been bit. You're welcome. Love you.
These descriptions are incredible, by the way. This is your best storytelling, Chris.
Oh, good. Salinger, your turn.
Sal takes like a split second, hearing what Casey yelled, looking down south, and then looking at the giant meat monster to the right, and ignores what Casey says and charges the meat monster.
Casey will remember this.
This is going to look so much more heroic. Casey would understand.
Now he does.
Simultaneously, Poppy's
Stop
going
trying to absorb him more.
down from the north. Quit absorbing my friends. And Sal will attack, and Poppy will assist. His spear is still stuck in this thing. Does it count as drawing a weapon to, like, pull it out and hit it with it?
Oh, yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, you can grab on and... In fact, I'll just let you do that for flavor since it's already in there. You can just grab on and twist or whatever you want to do.
Well, I mean, I learned about the stabbing, so I was thinking I'd pull it out, and while I'm holding the side with the spear, just swing down like it's a quarterstaff.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, if it's doable. If not, more pokey stabby is also fine. But anyway, so it's an attack roll. I mean, since I'm using it like a quarterstaff, I'm assuming treat it like Polearm Master, just the D4 side. It's not technically a quarterstaff.
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, it would be silly if you can't swing a spear from the other end, but whatever you think makes the most sense. You could do quarterstaff or your halved thing.
I mean, I'll do the one that does more damage. People are getting hit.
Yeah. I think in this case...
I'm going to use the thread point because that's a natural one, regardless.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You can treat it like quarterstaff.
So a 24 to hit
Okay.
with 11 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, you just won't get that extra d6 benefit because that comes from the blade. But
Oh right, yeah, for sure. I don't know why it stacked that in there. So yeah, not the extra 3 points, but Poppy does spit acid at it. Do I learn that it's resistant to acid?
let's take a look here. It is not resistant to acid.
Sweet. So right as Sal pulls the spear out and then swings it down like a club or a staff, striking the side of the creature, Poppy jumps up and spits acid towards one of its many, many faces and does an extra 1. What a badass.
What's our total damage here?
Total will be 12.
Alright.
Oh wait, no, plus the d8 from the force damage from my last spell.
Oh, give that a run.
Oh, 16.
Yeah. Meat and a limb goes flying, definitely hurting it. But you feel as you hit it, oh, there's so much in there.
So much meat.
Okay. I know you guys have your 11 out. It would be Doc, then Peach, then Kimbeth. Do you guys want to do those turns, or do you want to call it good?
I'm gonna stick out for the turn and then I'm out.
Okay,
You can have Peach hold her action. I'm too tired. I'm out.
Okay,
But
so
feel
yeah,
free to continue.
We'll just do the 2 more turns, and then. So Doc, you're up.
Doc, hearing all the screams and watching it, and seeing Kibeth half hidden and disappeared, knowing that she was hurt, and she grabs her shield, sort of pulls it closer to her, goes full defense as she runs. As she passes Shalati, she feels and watches as this slight magic feels like it emanates out, and for a second, as Ava runs by, you feel a little bit more armored, and as she moves away from you, you feel that whatever protection seemed to go away. Ava hugs around the edge of this creature, knowing she's putting herself in harm's way, but she has to get to the people that are injured. She puts herself between Kibeth and Esmond, and then begins to cast. But
How are you getting there?
I was running around underneath the tree, and then running like through Sal, and then through Esmond to get here.
Okay. Yeah, just make sure you have enough movement, because moving through them will be difficult terrain.
Oh. I don't think I have enough if they're difficult terrain.
Well, is Esmond difficult terrain? I thought I was grappled, so I thought I was like on this creature.
I haven't moved you inside of it. It's like reaching out and.
Okay. Same thing. She just doesn't end up going quite as far. She ends up running right here. She can't get to anybody. She's kind of stuck. She's like, oh. So she runs up, stands next to Sal, realizing, again, still in harm's way. Sal, you suddenly feel like you're a little bit more protected, and gain 2 AC. And it's from Kibeth's design. The shield that she designed, the powers from it. So, seeing Esmond look in rough shape, and the same thing with Kibeth, she starts to cast, but realizing they're really hurt and amped up on adrenaline, she overclocks the spell. She charges it up, and she's gonna heal. First, Esmond. This is gonna be 3rd level healing word. Ignore the roll. Esmond, you take 24 points of healing.
Right.
And then, using the ability of the chalice, she channels all that energy that was from within her and then sort of manipulates it all within Esmond. His wounds all start to heal up. And then afterwards, with the energy sort of draining a little bit from his body, she takes her hand, balls into a fist, and casts it in Kabeth's direction. Kabeth, you're going to take this roll.
Which roll? It's
I'm
very
trying to
slow
do
to
it.
upload.
I'm not. Oh, I'm sorry. Whatever the first one was. It is 13 healing point.
Just cups everywhere.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't see it. I was looking for the spell to appear, and I ended up pressing it over and over again.
Digging through
I
her
was
bag.
very confused. I am no
Yeah.
longer bloody.
Esmond is also no longer bloody.
Yeah. All right, and there she stands, facing this horrific monster next to her massive friend, trying to both just draw the strength from Sal and the fearlessness he presents. And again, Sal, you have +2 AC.
Thanks.
All right, it's Kabeth.
Am I already in melee range? It's hard to tell with
Yes.
like the way. Okay, so I don't need to move towards it to whack it with my hammer.
Already there.
Gebet kind of chuckles as it tries to grapple her, but like it slips off of her armor, and she just raises her hammer up with 2 hands and brings it down on top. That's gonna be a 25 with 10 bludgeoning plus an additional 6. So that's 16 damage.
25 definitely hits. 16 total damage.
How's it looking? I might use another divine smite.
Yeah, you smash with the hammer, you send some meat flung out onto the ground, some of it hitting Esmond, some of it hitting Salinger. It's a strong creature, though. It's still fighting.
I'm going to use another divine smite, which is my last spell slot, to deal additional radiant damage. So that's an additional 3d8. So that's an additional 19 radiant. And I think I can do one more thing that I didn't realize I could do last time. Hang on.
Heck of a way to end the fight tonight. Wow.
Hang on. I'm going to attempt to use. I'm going to use my bonus action, right? Oh no, I can't use that one. I'm going to use my Channel Divinity Inspiring Smite. Immediately after you deal damage to a creature with your Divine Smite feature, which I just did, you can use your Channel Divinity as a bonus action and distribute temporary hit points to creatures of your choice within 30 feet of you, which can include you. The total number of temporary hit points equals 2d8 plus your level in this class, which would be Paladin, which is 3. And then what is the bonus? Like, how do the bonuses apply to this, Chris? For healing.
Well, this is temporary hit points, right?
Oh, yes. Not healing. Okay. So it's just 2d8 plus
Who do you want to distribute those to? Or put those on.
So that's 10. So I'll give 4 to Esmond, 3 to myself, and who kind of looks the worst out of the immediate vicinity? Nobody's bloody anymore, but
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's blooded. You can't tell beyond that.
you know what? I'm gonna split it equally between myself and Esmond. Then we each get 5.
All right, 5 and 5. Okay, so as you bring down this holy divine wrath and protect your friends, describe the entirety of what all this looks like.
Yeah, so the creature had made an attack against her. It slipped off of her armor, but she sees 2 of her friends currently or were being dragged. They're still currently grappled.
Yeah, they're currently arms all over them, mounts biting at them.
This horrifying thing is currently grabbing at her friends, and that will just not do. She raises the hammer above her head. It glows with extra intensity, white hot heat of metal having been stoked in a fire for a long time, and she slams this hammer down upon the creature. It squishes into the flesh, and you hear cracks as bones are pulverized, and the meat makes a squishing noise as the hammer sinks into it. And you hear the sizzling crackle and popping as it starts to cook with the heat of the hot metal as well. Maybe there's a gentle aroma of cooked meat. Beth feels a little bit hungry. And with her particular Kevin's reactions are the best. With her particular fury here, the passion of the forge, she unleashes extra fire down upon this creature, and it cracks and sizzles some more.
With that, this big meat is bloodied, and that's where we'll end for tonight.
Yeah.
Great session, you guys.
Yeah, good job.
That was a wonderful
so
time.
gross.
Thank you, everyone. Oh, so gross. So
Yay.
good.
Good night. Get out of here.
Good night, folks.
night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. See you soon.
See y'all.
Thank you for the session. See you next week.
Will not do.
So, I don't know if I could draw that, y'all.
All the mouths?